YouTube is happening. It's Friday, June 20th, and we're going to talk baseball today first. We're going to break down our games. We're going to look at props, look at the sheet, everything we always do. We have, 15 games on the slate today? Yeah, you typical slate, there's no extra games. So we're going to look at these games, see if we can find some advantages. So hopefully our best can go a little better. Recap yesterday, because we always do. I took all these plays. Obviously the pass I didn't take, but start off good. I initially took Colorado plus 1.5, then I swapped it to the over. Should have left it at plus 1.5 because I hit. The over did not. Rodon hit the strikeouts. Detroit crushed in the first game. McGreevy hit the 4.5 Ks, and then the rest went back. The sun set, and so did my plays. So they didn't go good. You're going to have days like that. Some days are good, some days are bad. They were close, though. I mean, Rossman got rocked, but he still, at one point, he had 4 earned runs, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts in 4 innings. So he was close before he got rocked. Nimmo had 1 HRR. He couldn't do anything else. The team couldn't help him when he got the third, and he couldn't get him in. Really? With 1 out? Come on, guys. The Mets, really? Baltimore, Tampa had, they finally didn't score many runs. It happens. Houston had the walk-off. The A's walked him off last night with the home run. Wild. And then everyone saw the San Diego and the Dodgers game where, that was just more about fighting, basically. Arguing and pointing at each other. Hilarious baseball fights. Just hilarious. Not the best day. You're going to have days like that. If you want the plays typed out for every single sport I do, or you want access to the spreadsheet for every sport I do so you can do your own research, check out the HQ for now. So it's all there. Enough of that. So we have all these games. Let's check out some weather. How does that sound? Load up the weather so we can see kind of what's happening, so we can make sure there's no crazy shenanigans going on out there. So let me pull this is Roto Grinders, awesome site when it does the weather and everything, so we can kind of roll through this and get a good idea. And let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. And we can see first one's going to be Chicago and Seattle. That's going to be our early day game today. Then it jumps to the night games. So not really anything there, but 16 miles an hour out in Wrigley. Oh, buddy, that might be something to look at. What's that total? Or I already want to see the total. Hold on. Let me load it. I got to see it. It's got to be at least like 12. It's got to be, right? 9.5. Okay, we must have good pitching. I'm looking at the bats too. Cubs are not that good right now with the bats. So anyways, that's that. Yeah. Pittsburgh out for New York, straight out at 11, but no real rain to worry about. Tampa, that's every day. It could rain. Who knows? No wind. Toronto, Miami, nothing to worry about. Philly out at 10, but towards right. There's no rain there. St. Louis out at 11. It's a windy day, which when you have windy days, that means you can potentially have a couple extra home runs you didn't expect. The fly ball goes a little bit further than usual. Twins in at 10. Rockies out at 13 in Coors. Oh, buddy. Ooh. Angels, you see them. Padres. A's out at 11 in that little minor league park they got. And then the Dodgers out at 9. And then the Giants out at 24. 24 miles an hour. Madness. And this is for Boston. That's an interesting little matchup after the trade last week or this week or whatever the hell it was. But yeah, that's enough of the weather. So there you go. So there is all the games. So let's stop wasting time. Let's jump to the first one right now. All right, first game is going to be that Seattle and Chicago game where we're talking about with the wind and everything. So we look over here. It's a 125 for the Cubs at home with a 9.5 with a plus 100. I'm sorry. With the wind blowing out like that much, I know yeah. Typically, some things I overlook, but we'll see. Let's look over at the spreadsheet. We see the Cubs have been struggling here recently, which is very unlike them. They're the worst team in the majors in the last 10 games hitting the ball. They had a 204 average in the last 10 overall. You can see everything. They're only getting 6.8 hits per game. What? That's just, no, they're just terrible. That's why they only got 3.4 runs. Seattle's doing decent with hits and average and everything, but they're leaving dudes on base. They're stranding them. That's why they only get 3.8 runs per average. That's not good. Now, you combine these to come out to 7.2, which isn't bad since the total is 9.5, and we are going to have potentially the wind at our backs pushing it out, which 16 at Wrigley is just, that's a lot. And it's 79 degrees. The over is going to be a play, 100%. I'm going to tell you right now. I got to do it. I got to see it through. So let's go look at the props. See who's pitching today in this game. This is Outlier. Link in the pinned comment. Click it, sign, get you a week for free. Awesome stuff. So George Kirby going up against Matthew Boyd. We got to look at straight earned runs. 2.5, 3.5 for Kirby. That line tells you a lot. Now he's only given up 2-2-2. Before that, it was 6 and 5 to Houston and Washington. And yeah. Yeah, if the Cubs are going to have a breakout game, this is the game to do it. Perfect game, perfect situation to do it. So let's look over at George Well, I did Kirby twice. Oops. I meant to go Boyd. Where's Boyd? It's down here. Yeah, 2.5. There we go. Coffee's still kicking in. It's still working. Still, it's early. So Boyd, 2.5 earned runs. It's been pretty good recently. Colorado, we know Colorado is. Washington, we know how bad they are. Philly, you saw how bad their bats were for a bit. And Pittsburgh, we know their bats are bad. So I'm not, maybe Philly a little bit, but I'm not too impressed with the stretch right here. So let's go look at the matchups. Boyd versus look at the green. Look at the home runs already. Garver has 2 home runs and 15 at bats with a 1.3. Crawford has a 5 per 10 average with a 1.0, but no home runs. Polanco is 26 bats, 346, but 2 homers, 6 ribbies, and it's less than 1, but still that's a lot of at bats. Solano has 2 at bats with a home run. Yeah, I think yeah, this is gonna feed the over thought I have. Lefties versus Seattle. There you go. Chicago versus righties. Chicago versus Kirby. Anything? Now he's been pretty good. But you're facing the Cubs at home and the wind's blowing. I got to go for it. I got to take the over based on the wind mainly. 16? Look, 16. Yeah, I can't. No, no, over all day, over. I know I go by numbers, but I think today they're not going to. Look, even though the Cubs are terrible, look at what they're really good at. Home runs. See, still there. So I'm going to take the over in this one. Hope for a nice, beautiful, very high scoring fireworks galore. Over 9.5 next. All right, moving on to game 2. We're going to go to Texas and Pittsburgh. I like we have new matchups. I like every 3 days because this past one was, we had profits in 2 out of 3 days. But yesterday wasn't profitable, but it's been a profitable week, which we cannot complain about. You're going to have down days. You just got to bear them, kind of like a storm. And I'm not going outside. Today, most days are sunny though. So today we have Texas 178 on the road with a 7.5 total. Texas got swept by the Royals somehow, even though the bats are doing this. I don't get it because they've been playing great. It's just the pitching is letting them down. So and then Pittsburgh, you can see what they have done. Not much. They did have 8 runs yesterday in their win with Skeens pitching, which is funny, even though because Skeens didn't get the win because it was tied at 4 in extras. So, yeah, good job, Pittsburgh. Good job overall. Let's go look at the props. Let's go look. Let's get rid of YouTube. Let's load up the pitchers. Let's see who's going out there. It's going to be Mike Burrows and Jacob deGrom. That's why Texas is favored by so much because deGrom has been pretty nasty at 1.5 earned runs. Yeah. Burrows, 4.5 hits allowed. You're going up against Texas, who happens to be 4th in hits currently at 9.7 per game. So that's a pretty spicy line we could take right there. Pretty nice. We'll actually look at that because 4.5 hits, that feels low. deGrom has been 2-2-1-0-2. Yeah, deGrom's deGrom. We know this. Nothing new. Burrow hits. Yeah, he's been 4-5-5-5-5. And he's gone against teams like the Cubs, who currently can't hit. So you saw that. He still gave it 5 hits. See, that's good. That's good stuff. And then Miami, Houston, Arizona. Yeah, we could potentially take this. Let's go look at the matchups. Burrows versus Texas. Never faced them. Texas versus righties. There you go. Pittsburgh versus righties. There you go. And deGrom versus Pittsburgh. Historically, O'Neal Cruz has a home run, 6 at bats. But other than that, no one's really done anything else. So weather this one, no weather to worry about. I think I got to go with the team. I know Pittsburgh's at home. And how has he done? Now, he's only pitched 5 games this season, so this is his whole thing. This is his whole season so far. It's 5 games. He averages 4.8 on a 4.5. I technically don't like this. Is not statistically good for us. This is reaching a little bit, I think. The more I think about this, because we want our average to be, like, our average is 4.8. So we want that to be at least a 5.5 if our line is 4.5. We want an extra 1 over for that cushion to have a little bit higher probability of us having a chance to hit if they do what they usually do. And this, if he does what he usually does, there's a chance he doesn't hit this. Like, he could easily come down to a 4, regress in his number. We don't technically like that. If I take this, this is chasing. So what else would I take besides this? Do I just back Texas money line now? Because deGrom is clearly going to be the better pitcher, right? He has a 1.4 ERA. What does Burrows have? He earned runs. Not ERA, earned runs. Burrow has a 2.2 earned runs. So deGrom's already doing better in the last 5 games. He's given up 1.4 earned runs. So deGrom's better pitching, clearly. The bats are better, clearly. So we shouldn't take the Burrow prop because it's not statistically advantageous for us. We need to take Texas on the money line or even the run line if you want to be, get the better juice. I'm fine with the money line. 178, as long as it's less than 200, I'm okay with it. So especially if I believe it's going to hit. So It's a whole risk reward, and it's a lot of stuff in there. Everybody's different, so I'm just going to take Texas money line on this one. Yes, they've lost 3 in a row. I get that. I'm a little concerned by that, but I think that might be just because it was the rules. Now they're playing. Yeah, Pittsburgh got their win. Give me Texas on the money line next. Let's move on to game 3. It is going to be Detroit and Tampa. How exciting! All right, we got it's pick 'em. As it should be, probably 8.5 is our total. We go over to the sheet, we see our numbers. Tampa's been awesome with the bats. We know this. Detroit has been fairly above average themselves. So 6-4 both teams. Both teams lost yesterday. We know this. Let's go see who's pitching. Who's throwing that ball at their force today? We come over, we go boop, 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 and we see it's Shane Baz against Flaherty. We want to just go. Neither team strikes out a bunch or not that often. They're both 9th and 18th overall, respectively. Tampa is 3rd in walks, but Flaherty doesn't have many walks, so that's not a thing to worry about. Let's just pull their earned runs to see if we can figure out who is good at something or not. Who's been giving up runs? Shane Baz, last 5, 2 earned runs on average, including shutting out the Mets last time. Amazing. And then Flaherty is a 2.2. So, yeah, both pitchers are pretty good. Both bats are pretty good. That's leaning me to a pass immediately, but we'll still look at everything else. We wanted to see, something zoom. Okay. Make sure I got that right. Okay. So yeah, we got Baz versus Detroit. Zoom down so you can see that. And then we got righties versus Detroit. We got Tampa versus righties. And then we got Flaherty versus Tampa. And you can see that. Below got a home run. He's been on fire. Outside of that, I need more data for a batter prop. I hate batter props. The hardest thing to hit. Pitcher props are way easier, just because you can see what they do and everything, and pitchers are pretty good. Batters, 3 for 10, you're an all-star. Yes, that's enough for me. No, I don't want to take that. So there's your plays. I don't like. There's nothing standing out for an advantage for this one. So I think the smart thing to do, it's a pick 'em too. The total 7.5. None of that helps us. Pass. Next. All right, let's move on. We got Baltimore and the Yankees, and yeah. The Yankees won a game finally. They scored some runs finally. So today they are 225 on the money line against Baltimore with a 9 total. Spreadsheet wise, we look and see they're still the worst team when it comes to runs in the last 3 games. How many runs did they have yesterday? Let's look at that. They won by a score of Yankees. Where are you at? 7-3. There. Okay, good job. So yeah. So there's your numbers. Yankees offense has not been good in the last 10 games. Baltimore's been at least scoring runs, but everything else is kind of just there. Not really loving any of that. Let's go over the props. Pitching wise, we got both teams are in the bottom 7 when it comes to strikeouts. That might be something. We took Rodon strikeouts yesterday. It was one of the few hits that the numbers actually had. So Max Fried, Chicken, 4.5 hits allowed against Baltimore, who's 14th in hits. Not taking that. We got Sagano walks allowed against the Yankees, who even with Judge, they're still 15th in walks at 3.1. They're almost at 4 on the season usually. See, they're usually higher, so they've been swinging, not being as disciplined as they should be recently. This is what they usually do. So, all right, so let's just open up the earned runs for both of them and just kind of take a look. 1.5 versus 3.5. Gee, I wonder. But 2, 3, 3.5 at 105. Damn, are they expecting him to get teed off on? I think they are. I mean, what else would it be? It has to be that, right? Let's go to matchups. Max versus Baltimore pitching. Or Baltimore bats, not pitching. Bats, yeah. Not much data there, which is probably good for Max. Against lefties, you see how Baltimore's done this season. Not good. They got a couple bright spots, but there's some bad ones in there. Yankees versus righties. There you go. Sagano versus Yankees. Nothing. Not much. Not much data at all. So we don't really have anything here. This being 3.5 is concerning because he has gone 3, 3, 1, 3, 2. But again, 2.4 average, 3.5 line. I want the average over the line, not under it. That's disgusting. So we're not taking that. I'm not taking Yankees on the money line. That's ridiculous. I'm not taking the over because I don't trust the bats. I'm not taking the pitching because I don't trust the pitching. Because Max can get. He got blew up 4 starts ago against Dodgers for 6 runs. So again, nothing stands out. I don't even have a lean for anything. So pass. Next. All right, moving on to Toronto and the White Sox. And currently it is Toronto 205 at home with a 9 total. Oh, spreadsheet. White Sox not doing good. Lost 8 games in a row now. 1-9 last 10. Not good. Not good at all. They're only good at 3 categories too, which is not where you want to be. Toronto average, maybe slightly above in like the hits and batting, which is important, but they're stranded dudes on base, you could tell. Let's go look over at who's pitching this one. And this one, we're going to have who? Oh, not that one. This one. There we go. Spencer somebody versus Davis Martin. Who is you? Now, Chicago is the worst team in strikeouts in the league currently. They're 11.2 per game. They're not even, usually they're 8.6. They're like in the middle of the pack, but right now they are just swinging at everything. So, I mean, strikeout prop, absolutely. Who are we going to take here? That would be Spencer, whoever your name is. You have 2 props for strikeouts. Head to head, you're 100%. Interesting. So obviously, 3.5 is better than 2.5 for a prop, unless you want the juice, which we could. Let's see, 6. What? Now these are all 2024 stats. I just noticed it's 2024. You have nothing. This is your first game of the season. So what we got to do is we need to go hunt and find some info and who the hell you are. Who is you? I know I've heard the name Turnbull now that I've seen the name, but I was like, Turnbull. So let's go and actually look up his past a little bit so we can kind of take a peek. Ooh, let's zoom out a little bit. That's too much. There we go. 2025 saves. So he has pitched in 2 games. Now, Outlier doesn't do bullpen stuff. They show starters. So it's, yeah. So that's why it looks like he has no games, because he has no starts. So he does have 2 games, though. He's pitched these 2 games, 0 start, 2 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 0 Ks in 2 innings, 2 with 2 Ks. I'm sorry, I can't take somebody who has 0 Ks in 2 innings, no matter how bad Chicago is striking out. I don't know. They're giving him props. We don't know. He's probably going to be a bullpen game. Again, it looks like he's probably going to pitch 2 innings. And I'm not taking 3.5 for 2 innings. Sorry. No, you're not going to get me like that. Not today, sports books. Not today. So we're going to just leave that alone. And then we got Davis Martin earned runs against Toronto's bats, which could be interesting. Let's see. Let's see. There you go. There's his earned runs, 2.8. Let's go look at the matchups. Matchups, Turnbull versus Chicago history. Benintendi's 4 for 10. There's a lot of bats against the bullpen guy. Righties for Chicago. Toronto versus righties. Toronto versus Davis Martin. 2 for 5. Nothing. There's no data here. Again, nothing's really standing out in this one, so it makes me want to take Toronto, except for the fact that Chicago's bats are bad, because Davis Martin's not bad. 2.2, 4, 2.4. 2.8 is not bad. Not terrible. We've seen way worse. And then you don't even get an ERA because you're bumping, you average 5, but that was, this is last season stuff. This is going to trick people today. People are going to see this numbers and be like, look, he's a strikeout guy. And they're not going to look at the fact that he's already pitched 2 games this year and realize this is games he started last year. So I don't know. And how many innings did he pitch in these starts? It's 4, 7, 5, 5, 3. Yeah, no, nope. This is going to be a pass. Next. All right, let's move on. We got Atlanta and Miami going up each other. And we got Miami. Nope. Atlanta's 140 with a 9 total. Look at the spreadsheet. We can see they're about the same. Bunch of mid. That's all this is. You're good at average and hits. You're good at getting runs. So they both cancel each other out. There's nothing standard. Both top 10 strikeouts. We can't look at that. Atlanta walks a ton. So if Miami's pitcher gives up a bunch of walks, then maybe. That's about the only prop we can have for the pitchers. Let's go look at the bats. See if anything is cooking over here in the pitching. Load them up. Braves right there. And we can see is... What? Wait, hold up. What? Okay, well, okay, this is probably why. Look at the names. Look who's pitching. Is Didier? That's got to be Didier. That's got Fuentes. Fuentes for Atlanta is going up against Junk. Diddler and Junk. What? Oh, the matchups write themselves. Didier. Hell, I can't say that. Whatever. He's a minor league dude. You can tell. Stats, gay blog, nothing. This is his major league debut today. Welcome. You know what we do around here when we have major league debuts? We fade you. What about you? You're a bullpen guy who pitches a bunch, and in June you pitched 4 innings and gave up 5 earned runs and 9 hits. So, oh my God. Oh, okay, over. We have a bullpen game versus a major league debut game. All right, and then we got bats that are both above average with runs and hits and everything. What's the over/under? 8.5? Is it 8.5? I can't remember now. 9? Done. We're taking that. Over 9. Next. All right, let's move on from Miami and go to St. Louis against Cincinnati. Good little matchup. And we got St. Louis 130 at home with a 9 total. Yesterday took McGreevy as a pitcher for strikeouts. That was a great little play. Today, since his bats are looking great, St. Louis is looking average to above average in some areas, but since he's looking good overall, which we like to see that. So let's look at some pitching, because maybe we actually get some pitcher props in this one, because last one had none. So change this from this to this one. Boom. Palante versus Singer. There we go. Basic pitchers. Strikeouts, both 10th and 17th. Nope, nothing. We want low numbers for that one. We want red. So we can't take that. Walks for Singer. How is St. Louis home walks? 15th. Nope. Palante earned runs over 4 out of 5 games against Cincinnati, who's 5th in offense, 4th in average, 6th in hits. That's leading Cincinnati already. And then we got to see Singer earn runs, which is, Singer's been good. So, yeah, 2.2, 3.21, averaging of 2, and Palante's average is 3.6. Yeah, we're already, so we have a lean for Cincy in the pitching. We have a lean for Cincy in the bats. Let's look at the matchup history, see who leans this way. Palante versus Cincy historically, that's a lot of the bats, but there's some zeros in there, and there's not much. There's 1 home run ever. Very few RBIs, not bad. Righties versus Cincinnati, that's a lot of green. That's a lot of green. St. Louis against righties, and then Singer versus St. Louis, and again, not much total. So we clearly have a lean when Palante versus Singer. Singer's statistically better by 1.6 in the last 5, and then just looking again at Cincinnati, the bats and everything. This would either be an over, probably not the over because the way Singer's pitching, probably to Cincinnati. Cincinnati money line is plus 116. I'd take the money line, sure. That's a little plus juice there. I can work with that. 1.5 even looks good. So you know what? I'm gonna be safe today. After a rough day yesterday, I'm gonna take the safe route. We're gonna go Cincinnati plus 1.5. They're on the road. They're on the road. If they were at home, I'd just go for the money line. But then why are they underdogs, right? So give me Cincinnati plus 1.5 next. All right, let's move on to Philadelphia and the Mets. And the Mets are starting to cool off pretty badly with their bats. We've seen that last couple of days, and the numbers reflect that easily too. Or is it right there? Philly 185 at home with a 8.5 total. Look at the sheet, and we can see why. Philly's been cooking. They're hot now. 8-2, 1-2. Mets have lost 6 in a row now. Did you know that? The Mets have lost 6 in a row. Madness, but yeah, it's out there. It happens. So let's go look at the props. Let's look at the stuff over here. Boop, boop. And we can load this up and change this over here to Phillies Mets so we can see what's happening. Wheeler's going up against Blade Tidwell. Okay. Mets are 21st in strikeouts, so we could potentially look at some Wheeler strikeouts and just see how it is, because here 21st are averaging 8.7, almost a strikeout per inning. Not what you want to do. If you're over a strikeout inning, it's even better. So, but hey, whatever. Let's go look at he's been kind of there. It's a 6.5 line at minus 135. They're expecting him to go over, but you're going to be sweating it because 7.2. That's not our. We want at least an average of 1 more than that thing. So 6.5. We want a 7.5. We can't get it. We're not taking it. Otherwise, we'll be chasing. We don't want to chase. So let's go look at the matchups. Wheeler versus Mets historically, and the Mets, I don't really say they tee off on it because I see home runs, but look at all the at-bats. 46, 48, 31. I mean, these are some decent average at 3. Anything over 300 is pretty decent when you have a lot of at-bats. 400 for bat. You don't play much. I don't care about you. 304 for you you matter. 283. This is all average. Nothing stands out really. Against righties, this is how the Mets have done this season. Philly versus righties. Philly versus Tidwell. Who the hell's Blake Tidwell? We have strike. Is this a bullpen game? This has got to be a bullpen game. Let's go look at his real stats. Let's go find out who this man is. We gotta find this. We gotta learn Blade Tidwell. He's on the road too. Let's go burp and go boop and Blade. Yep. No. Damn. Look at that ERA, 14.7. Let's look. He pitched in 1 game on May 4th. Okay. And we can see he had he pitched 3.2 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned, 2 strikeouts with 3 walks. So you aren't that good, sir. And now you're facing Philadelphia, who is spicy on the offense right now. 10th, 3rd, 7th. Yeah, Philadelphia 100. And they're sending Wheeler out there 100. I'm taking Philly run line, this bad boy. What's the run line? 1.5 for 120. Sign me up. Give me that one. Yeah, please. So we're going PHI at home minus 1.5 against Blade Tidwell and the struggling Mets. Yes. Favorite play of the day by far. Hell, this might be my favorite play of the week so far. This doesn't make any sense. I'm taking it. Next. All right, next up we got Milwaukee and Minnesota. And currently we see is Minnesota 145 with an 8 total, which is interesting. We see it spreadsheet-wise, Minnesota's been pretty decent with the bats. They're just leaving dudes on base. They're getting the average, but they're not getting the runs. Milwaukee's is below average in a lot of areas. So, yeah, whatever. We go over to the pitching. We see today we got Joe Ryan against the Rook. The Rook had 5 no-hit innings before he left with that cramp, I believe it was. So he has yet to give up a hit in 1 game. So now he's going out there again. He's on the road. He's at Minnesota, who's 8th in batting average. So I kind of want to see what he does in his 2nd game before I put any money on him. Yeah. You look amazing in your first, like you had the best first game of anyone in the past few years. Because 5 no-hit innings, that's ridiculous. So we'll look at Joe Ryan, and then let's just see if we can find some information. Because right now, I didn't know what I want to take. Nothing's really jumping out. So earned runs, he's at a 1.8. The other guy's at 0, obviously. So under, see over under this one. 8 is an 8. Ooh. Joe Ryan history versus Brew Crew, and you can see they do fairly bad against Joe Ryan. But Joe Ryan against righties, Minnesota versus righties. Minnesota's obviously never faced a rook. He got blew up for 4, blew up. Him blow up for 4 is hilarious. Last 10, you see what he's done. He has a 1.8 average last 10, 1.8 average last 5. Joe Ryan's pretty good overall. Can't complain. Milwaukee's pitcher going at Minnesota. Are the bats going to tee off on the rook? I don't know. To the point where I don't really, it's a wild card. We don't really know what's going to happen. So the thing I'm going to do is just leave it alone, move on next. Moving on to Arizona and Colorado, and it's windy in Coors, which is, we have to go back and lose wind when we get there. So currently, what are we looking at? There's a 12. I knew there was a 12. I sensed the 12 was somewhere. I had the wrong game, I had the 12. Colorado has a 12. Arizona 185 versus, well, yeah, and it makes sense 100% because you got one, you got the win. 2, you have 2 of the top 4 offenses in the majors right now. They're combining for 11.1 on a normal day with normal conditions. You throw in a nice little mix of whoosh behind it right here. 13 outs with no rain and 96 degrees. Holy, is that correct? If you're in Colorado, is it really that damn hot today? Like, whoa. Over, yeah. Yeah, the ball flies farther when it's hot, apparently. So, and you got the wind going too. Damn, that is going to be a miserable game to be at if you're sitting in the sun. And I'm in Florida, I say that. That ain't good. All right. Okay, let's go to pitchers. Who's the victims in this one? That's what I got to see. Oh, please let it be Cincinnati Day. Please let it be his day. Oh, it's Gomber. Okay. Gomber and Zach. Zach Gallen. Hey, Zach Gallen's been pretty bad too. Over earned runs, 4 out of 5. Hey, we might be there. Gomber earned runs. He hasn't been giving up many, but I don't think it's going to matter today. If you throw that ball anywhere in a hittable zone, it's going to go further than usual. So heat plus wind plus Coors. Yeah, we might hit the over within the first couple innings, which hell, I might even do my own little personal over ladder in this game just because I feel one of these 2 offenses are great right now. They're doing good because Arizona's getting runs somehow. And then look who's number 1 in home runs. The damn Rockies are number 1 in home runs. They're averaging 1.8 home runs per game in the last 10. 8th for Arizona. 1st and 2nd in trippies, hits, batting average. They're all just disgusting. Ribbies. It's just nasty. But they're both bad at strikeouts because when you're swinging for the fence, you're going to strike out a lot. What can you do? That's what I would do. When I play baseball, I struck out a lot because I swung for the fence a lot. So, hey, whatever works. So, walks, I ain't trying to run. You kidding me? I want to jog around the bases. Let's go look. Gomber looked good against Atlanta, but before that, yeah. So the matchups, history, Gomber versus Arizona. Historically, we got a couple home runs. I might even put together a little hit parlay in this one. I'm going to have fun with this one. So, especially with Corbin, 462 with 2 homers with a 1-4. Yeah, Corbin might go in there. We might put Suarez in there, even though he's only 200. He's still got a couple home runs. Marte's got 2 home runs. Yeah, let's go look at the other side. Lefties versus Arizona. There you go. Colorado versus righties. Gallen versus Colorado. We got Farmer with a home run. Goodman's been popping off here recently. Goodman, stop. You're going to get traded. Calm down. That's what they do. So, yeah, we're going over 12, and I don't care. Some people are like, it's 12. Take the under automatically. No. All the conditions line up for an over. It's 96 degrees? That is crazy. All right, cool. Over. 12. Next. All right, moving on. Houston and the Angels are up now. Currently, we got Houston 184 with an 8 total. Houston with the victim of that walk-off with Athletics yesterday. Just, wow. Yeah. Baseball's fun in Sacramento. It's almost like they should keep it there. Keep it in Sacramento. It's fun. Just keep it in the minor league part. We're having fun. It's a fun season. So let's look at this. Houston, yeah, they took over the top spot. They've been popping off of that offense recently. Angels, not so much. You can't be 30th in these categories and expect to be any good. Be at your 6-4 because your pitching has been amazing. That's all that means. So your bats are great. You're 7-3. That makes sense. Let's go look at the props. Who's pitching today? Kikuchi's going up against Houston. Kikuchi's been getting walks. Yeah. We want his earned runs. We definitely want his earned runs or hits allowed. That's the 2 we definitely want. So we'll start with this one. Where's your hits allowed? There's your strikeouts, and that's not what I want. Hunter Brown strikeouts I might want. So 7.5. Angels are 27 in strikeouts. Woo. Ooh, and we want hits allowed. So we want these three props. Because why do we want these three? Let me show you. Because we got number 1 offense, number 1 hits, and number 27 strikeouts. That's what we want. Really, all this leans to say, just take Houston, right? That's okay. That's how obvious play is Houston on the money line at 184, or we could probably take 1.5. We'll see if how the numbers stack up here. So hits allowed. Some games he's good. He doesn't give it that many. He's at a 5.4 average with a 5.5. Yeah, Houston may be number 1 at hits at 10.7 per game, but we're gonna just leave that alone. 100 round strikeouts has been nasty here. 7.6 on a 7.5. It's 122. You can probably get 6.5 out there. Yeah, 6.5's out there. Better. Yeah, they try to get you with the plus line sometimes. Like, well, this out here is a better because Outlier gives you the best number out there. That's what they do. They order them by best. That's not a prize pick. They do the best sports book first, not a DFS, which is why I love them. So you can see all the lines out there for 6.5, which makes a lot more sense. But if you think they're going to do it, say 7.6 on a 6.5, that's something we could actually take the way he's been pitching. And he didn't do well against Tampa twice because Tampa's been the hottest offense in the league for the last 3 weeks now. So yeah, it makes complete sense. The A's, Cleveland, and Minnesota, sure. Let's look at the matchups and everything. Higuchi versus Houston. Historically, I mean, they obviously played a lot against each other. We got a home run there, 2 home runs for Myers and 9 at bats. Lefties for Houston, there you go. Angels versus righties, and Hunter Brown versus Angels. And Hunter Brown has shut the Angels down except for Ward. Ward does a little bit, but everybody else does nothing. So Houston 1.5 might be the play for real. For real. If you want to take a strikeout prop for Brown, you could also do that. That's also a play potentially. Yeah, he's been pretty decent. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to go. We have everything lining up for a Houston play. So we're going to take Houston. And I think we are going to take that -1.5 today, especially after that walk-off yesterday. That they might be a little upset, a little pissed off. We'll see what happens. So based on this numbers, number one versus them. Hell, they can win a game 3-0 because I don't think Angels are going to get the 3 on Houston. So easily. I'm taking Houston 1.5. We'll see what happens next. All right, next up we got Kansas City and San Diego. You can see San Diego 178 with a 7.5 total. Now, hey, Kansas City and LA at the same kind of blue, pretty close, right? So they might come out thinking they're facing the Dodgers again. They might be a little upset after last night, a little angry. They see blue and just get angry like a bull seeing red. So that, hey, we might get some little bit of anger on the San Diego side. So 5-8-8-4. They're doing better anyways. Kansas City swept Texas somehow with this offense. 4-6 swept. Crazy. Let's go look at the props. See who's pitching in this one. Yeah, I had to go back and look at that Colorado game again. People in Patreon, I showed them and they're like, what? Yeah. Sure. There we go. Boom. There we go. Load it up. Lorenzen versus Pivetta is our pitching matchup. A lot of mid. Nothing stands out in this one so far. What can we take that we need to look at? Well, Kansas City, that would be Lorenzen giving up runs, which he is currently at 2.5. Everything is, let's just look at both of them, see if anybody's doing bad. Because so far, I don't know about this one. They're both at 2.5 earned runs. So they're both, you're at a 4 average in the last 5 games. All right, guy. All right, buddy. 2.8. Okay. That is a 6.8 between both of you. What is wrong with you two? Oof. 6.8. 6.8 in a game where we're looking at a 7.5 total. Because people are going to see these names, think, oh, these are good pitchers, and bet them, right? That's what they're going to think. I don't know if they're the whole season. Sure, they've been good, but look at lately. This is Buffetta's whole season. He's averaging 2.1, and if you look at last 20, 10, he's getting worse as the season, as the most recent you get. Lorenzen, same situation. Lorenzen's been kind of bad all season. 3s is average all season. Look at these numbers. Last 20, last 10, 3.1, 4. Yeah, we're going to fade. We're going to fade this. We're going to take San Diego. We're going to. Lorenzen's bad, but Pavetta's had a couple of games because you see he's got a lot of good ones, but there's a couple games he got popped off. But hey, let's go look at the matchups. That was in course. He don't do good in elevation. Pivetta versus KC. Historically, there's a lot of data, but nothing really standing out. No, not really. Righties for KC. There you go. San Diego versus righties, and Lorenzen versus San Diego. And San Diego has a lot of green. 300, 500. No home runs, though, except for Tatis. And that's it. So, I think I like San Diego. I think, based on these numbers, we're going to fade Lorenzen because his 4 average is ridiculous. We got to take that. So, over 2.5 could be a play for sure. Or we could just rely on San Diego completely and not even have to worry. Well, not worry, but we can rely on bullpens too, which is always nice if we want to take it over overall. At 7.5 is calling my name over here. I like taking over 7.5 when we have bad pitching and decent bats. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Over 7.5. So over 7.5 is our play. Next. All right, moving on. Cleveland and the A's. Currently, it is a Cleveland 120 favorite with a 9.5. We come over here to the sheet and we load it up and we can see a lot of bad red. This is the almost a perfect setup for a Nerfy. You want the Nerfy bars, which is the first two, and your Nerfy and your runs to be green, because that tells you that they're very good at the Nerfies, which means Cleveland has not scored a run in the first inning in 8 of 10 games. They're averaging 0.2 runs in the first inning only. A's 0.1 runs in the first inning in the last 10 games, and they have only scored in the first inning once in the last 10 games. So that's potentially nice, especially when you got 2 bad averages, 2 bad hits. And then, yeah, so if we have above average or average pitching, Nerfy all day. Under also is potentially a thing. They kind of tie together. You want to go 9 innings, you want to go 1, you know? So I like doing 1, that way I can just turn that game off and focus on something else. So, because I don't want to watch a team with those type of numbers. Just don't want to do it. So, let's go over here. Boop, boop. And we got BB versus Springs. Not bad. Initially gut reaction, not bad at all. So we got, neither team strikes out much. So I don't care about strikeouts. I care about earned runs. Springs, BB. Let's load you 2 up and see. Not, well, Toronto teed off on a lot of teams recently, so that's not really a big deal. Philly's been teeing off. So both teams, I'm not too concerned. I don't think I'm concerned by this. BB, still not concerned either. So let's look at the matchups. How are the batters doing? Really, I should just look at the top 3 batters to see how they're doing, but hey, whatever. They move lines around sometimes. Lefties, not the best numbers. Actually, not good at all, except for Jose. Everyone else sucks on this team. Martinez is almost at 300, but everyone else is bad against lefties. That's a good sign for a Nerfy. A's against righties, there you go. Yeah, and then BB versus A's, and there's nothing there. Yeah, fine, we're gonna do it. We're gonna take a Nerfy. Yeah, based on this number and the setup and everything. Yep, give me the NRFI. No runs first inning. Next. All right, moving on. Second to last game, Dodgers and the Nationals. Hey, they won a game finally. They beat Colorado yesterday, so they broke their streak finally. But they won 4-3. It was like, yeah, they didn't cover, so whatever. 185 Dodgers with a 8.5. Only 185 against Washington. That's instantly why is this not 300 or 400? That's what they usually would do on a Friday for the Dodgers at home. Something's afoot. Who's pitching? So let's see the numbers. Yeah, this leans Dodgers. Clearly, Dodgers at home. Washington bad. We know this. Washington faced Colorado pitching this week, and they still couldn't get out of the red. That tells you a lot. That tells you a lot. That's how bad it's been. Because Colorado pitching, as we know, as always, is not good. Let's look at who's pitching today in this one. Nationals. Oh, it's Mackenzie Gore pitching, because Mackenzie Gore is a beast. Strikeouts, though. Ooh, 5.5. Dodgers are 6 in strikeouts. I don't know about that. 7.3. Washington's number 1. Good job, Washington. So we're not taking strikeout props. I'll show them to you, but I ain't taking it. You dodge, because that's when, 98765. So Gore might get teed off on. Let's look at the matchup history. Kershaw is going out there for the other side. You see his numbers versus Washington. Against lefties, this is what Washington's done. Dodgers versus lefties. Mackenzie Gore versus Dodgers. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Freeman, 571. Hernandez, Enrique, 429. Anybody else? Shohei is 3 for 6. There you go. Good stuff. So, yeah. What's your earned runs looking like? You've been good. You've been so good. I can't fade you right now. 1 average in the last 5 games. That's pretty nasty. You faced San Fran, Seattle, Chicago, Mets, and Miami. You have faced teams that have been crushing it recently. Like Chicago, they're bad now, but a couple weeks ago they were pretty good. Mets, same story. So you were part of them when they were good. You still shut them down. So you might shut the Dodgers down a little bit. So might have to leave that one alone. Let's go look at Kershaw, just because I know you want to see it too. I got you. Where's Kershaw? 1.5 earned runs. Oof. Yeah, no, they're both at a 1 average. They're both at a 1 average, and the total is 8.5. What's the win here? What's the win? Blowing out at 9. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to take the under, of all things, believe it or not. Yeah. But then I look over here and I see 5 and 3. They're averaging 3.5. They're averaging 5.3. That comes out to an 8.8. That puts us over the over already. I need the totals to be 1 below the app. See, it's always, I got to have a cushion. That's what I always do. So And that's not a cushion. That is a sweat. And I ain't trying to sweat that much. So it's too hot enough. It's too hot as it is. No, no. So I think we're going to pass on this one and move on to that last game. And the more I think about it, why are the Dodgers 185 at home on the money line on Friday against the Nationals, who've been the worst team in the majors? When we've seen statistics like numerous times, the Dodgers minus 350, minus 400 this season and last season. They know something. They put that line there exactly to entice people to bet the Dodgers today. Don't be surprised if they lose outright. Don't be surprised. I would not put it past the odds makers to know what's going to happen. Sports are entertainment. Remember that. They're entertainment, so they can do what they want. So anyways, moving on to the last game. So which is going to be Red Sox and Giants. Talk about drama. Here's the drama for the night. Devers got traded a few days ago, however long ago it was now. And now Boston's coming to town to come visit the old teammate, the old pal, old buddy. 7.5 is our total with San Fran 130. Only problem is San Fran has not been good recently with the bats. Better than Boston. Hold up, better than Boston. They've both been, just not good. So 5-5, 8-2. Boston, they're 8-2 with this offense. That tells you a lot. They can't hit the ball, but they're getting wins, so it does not matter. So, interesting. Let's go look at the props. Who's pitching in this one? Because you know everybody and their mama going to be taking Devers to hit a home run today. You know they are. And I don't blame them. I mean, it didn't happen yesterday, but come on. Almost got to take things like this. When you see stuff like this, you're like, damn, that's a lot of wind. That is gusty. That is. It's 7.5. And I don't know the dynamics of the park, of Oracle Park. And I know there's a splash on one side, and then, I don't know how the wind flows and the shear and all this. And if you know about this park and how it works, 7.5 with this wind, I almost want to take it. I want to root for it. I want to see Devers hit a home run. That'd be hilarious. This would be funny for the drama. They might clear benches and brawl. Who knows? Oh, baseball fights. So give me Ramirez and Anderson again. Give me that 10 times. Love that. Anyways, moving on to pitching. Who's going out there today? And we got load that bad boy up. And right there, who's the victims? Birdsong and Dobbins. Birdsong hits allowed over 4 out of 5 times. And Dobbins has been good when it comes to hits. He's not giving up hits, which isn't good. So we want earned runs for both of them. Just take a little peek. We'll start off with the first one, which is Birdsong. His last 5 games, you can see what he's done. 1.8 average. Not bad. Not bad. Dobbins earned runs last 5 is a 2.6. Even though he shut out Yankees, good job. He was rough before that. Yankees again. Baltimore, Mets, Detroit. So he's on the road now. Let's look at the matchups. History. Birdsong versus Boston. Never faced him. It's good for him. Righties versus Boston, there you go. San Fran versus righties, there you go. Then we got Dobbins versus San Fran, never faced him. So now this is a completely different situation in Colorado. Like this is 59 degrees. They flipped the number, set at 95 at 59. So it's going to be kind of chilly and windy, which means the ball's not going to fly as much, but yet 24 is a lot of damn wind. How many runs did they have yesterday? Follow me to the thing. Let's go look. Because it was really windy yesterday too, and I don't remember what it was. San Fran, 2-1. Cleveland. Now, yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going for it. Don't care. I'm going to do it. You ain't got to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it just because I 24. I got to take it. So we're going to go over 7.5. I know the pitching alone is giving us over 4, almost 5 runs alone. And then the runs combined for the teams are currently putting us at 8.7. So, yeah, that's clearly over the total, and we got the wind to back us up as an assistance, hopefully. Yeah, give me the over 7.5, and we're going to call it right there. Schedule now. Now, I can make parlays. I'm going to make some parlays today. It's Friday. I'm going to have a little fun. I'm always usually like, hey, straight bets mainly, and not only, mainly. You can have fun on the weekends. That's what this is all about, having fun. I will have some parlays, but I'm gonna put that for the members and everything. They get to see that stuff. So you get to see all the plays for free, regardless. If you want convenience or if you want like parlays and stuff, you know what you gotta do. HQ, it's all there. Every play I give out's free. It's just if I bundle them, you don't see that. So, anyways, moving on. Saturday, we have all these games for tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll break these games down. Hopefully, talk about all our money we won because it's gonna be a good day, I think. I appreciate being here. Drop a like and subscribe if you want the plays typed out in a nice fancy list. Or if you want the parlays or anything extra besides the normal plays, HQ for you. Check out Outlier. It's all there. Let me know what you're playing in the comments. And I'll see you tomorrow on Saturday for some more MLB. Peace.